Hello. Bl'Artagnan here with Lords of Subsidence, the Titus Centipedes raid Lufenia. Before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You know the drill, but it does help me out in terms of engagement, in terms of reach, in terms of helping the channel grow, and really just, it makes me appreciate you guys quite a bit more, knowing that you got my back. So, what do we got here? We got a really stupid team. We have a team of Garland, Lightning, and Eald'narche. You're probably saying, Bl'Art, you magnificent bastard, why on earth are you bringing Garland to a delay immune fight, Lightning to an imperil-immune fight, and Eald'narche to a fight with two delayers as his teammates? What are you thinking? As it happens, each of these three are going to be playing an integral part of a puzzle, which I like to call not a very optimal team for dealing with the Lufenia. But I had fun putting it together and using it. We're swapping Garland out for Garland. With Lightning on the field, we're going to be trying to just kind of ride Garland's burst effect as much as we can, just kind of making that work. The first part of the fight, the scary part, is just getting through it without dying to the orb, because Lightning is the only one who consistently is going to be dealing with the orb. Eald'narche has a few ways to kind of get some free turn stuff with free AAs and his phase shift, which he just used. But aside from that, not much. Garland really is just going to be there mostly for the defense down aura and the burst effect. Although he is actually pretty handy at this phase of the fight for pushing them back, just to kind of keep the Jack and Faris debuffs on them longer. So we're okay. We're into that, we're up for that. So Lightning getting those free turns, balancing her skill usage here is going to be pretty important. We're going to be cutting it pretty close in terms of how close we get her to burning out. As for Eald'narche, who seems like pretty much the antithesis of who you'd want to bring alongside Lightning and Garland, obviously having terrors, to protect us in case things go wrong is great. The real reason I'm bringing him is because he brings a shit ton of defense down. Although I think only a little bit of it is currently applied because, generics and stuff. So I figured the combination of the defense down he brings, along with, some free turn damage, because this is a very tight turn count fight, it's going to be good times. Because he's working alongside a pair of very strong damage dealers, we can actually get really spammy with his skills, much more than usual, which is pretty tremendous. I'm only going to be using a couple of HP attacks here and there, mostly out of habit, if we're being honest, because we do finish the fight with a good couple of Eald'narche skills. In hindsight, it would have been pretty funny, I think, maybe to switch out Eald'narche for Garland instead, do the whole free warp turn thing, but that would have required letting them get a turn for the warp, and we're not here for that. Like I said, we're trying to maximize our Jack debuff uptime because these guys have a whole bunch of defense. We don't want that to be a thing. I'm actually wondering if Bronth Call might have been better than Faris Call. I didn't really run numbers or anything. I just figured I'm going to bring as much defense down as I can, and whatever happens, happens. But as you can see, we're going to be capping pretty handily most of the fight. So I probably could have done a little better for that. Wanted to take advantage of an Eald'narche warp turn here, that's why I didn't break B. We're going to go ahead and set up the Exceed Lance into AA into Terror wombo combo. It is a very weird kind of thing with Eald'narche to not want the enemy to take as many turns as possible, but we really want that Jack debuff staying on as long as we can, just because it's so potent. And I was tempted to just go into the Garland burst phase and, kind of turn him into our aura support and have Lightning go ham, but we do need to really kind of squeeze out as much damage as we can during the last 50% of this fight, so we're going to be holding off and doing it then. Going ahead and I was hoping to be able to save all of Lightning's LDs for post 50%, but that HP damage up's too good to resist. Not to mention, again, as I keep saying, we want that Jack debuff to stay on. In hindsight, I probably could have waited to apply it, and that would have made it... we probably could have gotten through the first 80% of their health without it on them, but... too late. We're just using as many free turns as possible and just doing what we can to try to push them back. Taking advantage of Garland's speed down, or, you know, the goods. Gonna go ahead and battery him up because we are going into the burst phase now. Starting with the EX, which we batteried up thanks to his AA. So this fight's pretty interesting because it is kind of a no boss turn fight, and there are a lot of ways to just plow through it. But it definitely challenges you if you know, the more restrictions you put on yourself, the more challenging it becomes kind of exponentially, I find, which is neat. Yeah, we're just hitting them real hard. Got the Ferris call, got the Jack call. What other call we have? Oh yeah, we used the Onion Knight on Eald'narche in case we... I kind of use that out of habit just because I'm used to him burning out his skills and I want him, you know, to be able to get that extra skill usage or extra AA usage, but it's not super necessary here. Honestly, I realized in hindsight, I could have considered getting some Eald'narche free turns before the orb showed up during like the 80 to 50%, but like I said, I was super into keeping the Jack call on them, and it is still there. And oh man. So what oddball things are you trying out in this stage? Are you trying out any oddball things in this stage? Leave a comment down below letting you know the wildest thing you've seen either someone or yourself pull off. I'd like to hear what goodness the community's been cooking up, you know? And you know what? If you've listened this far, I don't know. Tell me your favorite knock knock joke in the chat. I'm just curious to see who's still here. I also am always on the market for more knock knock jokes, so figure it's a win-win. See here using the free AAs with the with Lightning's EX because we're pretty terrified of that orb. Not gonna lie. Just kind of free turn delaying. Eald'narche just sitting there being like, "Why did you bring me? What am I here for?" Truthfully, I probably could have brought someone other than Eald'narche, but he was pretty helpful, I think, in terms of keeping us safe for a few key turns. And hey, his damage ain't bad. So many break delays, my god. Alright. I think it's time to go into summon. I'm gonna just continue trying to push them back with break delays. And in this case with their kind of... I don't know what you want. I guess we kind of get to re-break them a little bit here because of their brave gain after they go under 20%. Ooh, look at that overflow. My goodness, Eald'narche, that was tasty. Yeah, you can see here just the power of how much defense down we've stacked. Like, we're doing just fine here. Focusing B for the critical hits there because I figured Garland can just go ahead and... I used his AA there to top off the orb and battery him a bit before he did this. Nice 400,000 roughly attack there. In hindsight, I probably... looking back, I probably should have LD'd there. I didn't because I wanted to squeeze as much of the LD buff as possible because I'm a greedy bastard, but in hindsight, what I realized right after doing that is I just gave up the rest of Garland's burst effect, which would have been pretty sweet to have on hand for the next few turns. Because we're getting really close to the point where we're going to have to call it one way or the other. That 60 turn count is tight. Just using Vortex for the damage at this point because it's not like they're going to get any turn, you know, they're not going to be running out of terror anytime soon. Okay, stalling up the orb. It is a scary, scary orb, it is. And as much as a rebreak would have been nice there, we just need the buffs and the orb stalling and the damage. Don't really have the time or luxury to stall it out. This was a very... I'm really enjoying running Eald'narche on teams where you wouldn't think it'd be his style of team, like really aggressive kill you kind of teams. I gotta say, it's kind of like turned around my opinion on how fun he is to play, because he's really fun to play if you don't have to focus just on using him as the sole damage dealer. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make, is, oh, he's a damage dealer, and yes, he brings a lot of off-turn damage, but he's a lot of fun to use as like almost like a mitigator tank support-ish kind of thing. Okay, I shouldn't have said tank. That I know I just triggered some people with that one. Put hashtag triggered in the in your comment if that ended up being, if that was an offensive thing I just said to you. Engagement. I make one final mistake here. I use Onion Knight Call just to keep us safe from the orb, and in doing so, I screw up the thumbnail. So here we are. There you go. No Synergy, Lightning, Garland, Eald'narche. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.